For 10 straight years of my life, I've gone to the theater at least once. This is the longest streak without me going to the movie theater, and now I'm getting really weird dreams about their popcorn. They're buttery, salty, sweet popcorn. Hey guys, my name is Chris. Thanks so much for joining me on another episode of Side Flick. Even though we're not going to go to the movie theaters until July, I'm happy we still got some movie news to talk about. We're going to be discussing Ant-Man 3 and its new writer that might really save the franchise. All these leaks concerning Venom 2, along with a trailer release date. What is going on with the Purge 5 that was due to come out in less than 3 months? That and so much more, guys, so I need to be hearing your opinion on these topics down below. It's the most important part. Scratch that. The most important part is you leaving a like. It's the only thing I ask if you're enjoying these videos, to make that little button down there turn blue. And real quick before jumping into the news, guys, I want to say thank you to everybody who supported my latest video experiment on the channel. Since movie news is dead, I went ahead and jumped into some video game content based off video games from popular movie characters. Y'all guys really responded well to that, so I can't wait to bring in more in the future. But if you haven't watched it, go check it out. Alright, starting off with Ant-Man 3, a lot of fans out there in the Marvel community were very worried that our favorite little Ant Boy would not be getting a third installment in his franchise. The Ant-Man series just makes the least amount of money out of all the Marvel movies. I guess he just isn't taken that seriously, but if you watch Avengers Endgame, he was kind of one of the best parts of that film. It's almost like Ant-Man is the new Hulk, where the Hulk by himself didn't make that much money in his movies, but everybody loved to see him in the Avengers. Pair that up with Marvel announcing their Phase 4 and parts of their Phase 5, and Ant-Man was nowhere to be found, we thought we had seen the last of Scott Lang. Well, thanks to the Hollywood Reporter that went ahead and let us know just the other day that Ant-Man 3 is happening, and they have a new writer that I think could really spark up the franchise. Kevin Feige and Marvel decided to hire a man by the name of Jeff Loveness. Now, I know that name might not be all that familiar to you guys, but he has a heavy hand in writing and co-producing Rick and Morty. And right there, that's all I really need to know. A man who's had his hands on Rick and Morty, one of the best adult animated shows that is all about wacky science turned comedy for our entertainment. That's basically Ant-Man, a wacky science character turned comedy for our entertainment. The pairing is perfect. So this really looks to me like they're really trying to step up Ant-Man 3 to be the new Ragnarok for the franchise. What I mean by that is, remember how differently Thor 3 was compared to the other Thor movies. I think that's what Marvel is aiming to do with this third Ant-Man film, just make it very different and just bring a different look to the Ant-Man character. The only reservation I have, and no offense to the guy, is that they are getting the same director from the past two Ant-Man movies, Peyton Reed, so in a sense it can't be all that different. There's also heavy speculation that the reason Ant-Man 3 is kind of a priority for Marvel now is because Ant-Man 3 will be the setup for a Young Avengers movie, which is basically Teen Titans, but for Marvel. We already have one of the future Young Avengers in there, Scott Lang's younger daughter, so it'll be interesting to see what they pull off from there. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you even interested to watch Ant-Man 3? Does this new Rick and Morty writer get you excited? Or are you one of those people who just skipped all the Ant-Man movies? Alright, jumping on to Venom 2, a movie that I can't believe I'm actually very excited for, given I wasn't such a huge fan of the first Venom movie. My main excitement for this is, one, Carnage being involved, Andy Serkis directing, also the fact that Sony is pushing full throttle to include Spiderman characters and slightly connected to the MCU. This movie I think is going to blow our minds, so we're all anticipating seeing what this film is going to look like. So much so that I hate to be the one to break it to you guys, any leaks that you're seeing online of Carnage, of footage, of pictures that were taken at a weird angle that look like they were leaked, they are all fake. All those images have been photoshopped, and if you really do a little bit of digging, you can find the actual photos that they used to mishmash together. But I know a lot of you were commenting and hitting my DM saying, Chris, talk about these leaked photos, talk about these leaked photos, you leak king. As the leak king, I also have a responsibility to make sure the stuff is legit, and unfortunately that stuff just ain't legit. Bringing me to my next point here on whether this trailer is going to be coming out next week like a lot of the outlets are reporting. Usually when a film is about to hit its 6-month mark from being released, that's when we get our first look trailer. And that 6-month mark is coming up pretty soon for Venom 2, leading to a lot of speculation that we're about to get our first trailer for Venom. And again, I hate to be the negative Nancy, but I just don't see that being a reality. One, I think the information that these outlets are getting probably is legit at one point in time, but with everything going on right now and stuff being delayed, movie theaters being shut down, all that crisis happening, studios are putting their marketing on hold for a lot of films until they see the future where movie theaters open back up. I don't want to be the one to panic anybody, and I obviously don't know anything about this outbreak, and neither do the movie studios. So who's to say by October this whole thing won't be cleared up? We could still see movies being shut down, us still being locked away in our homes. I still haven't gotten a haircut. Until the first chain of movie theaters actually open their doors, that's when I think we'll start getting marketing for a lot of films. I mean, we just had April Fool's Day pass. Think of how many trailers or posters or marketing materials for movies we usually get on April Fool's, and this April Fool's we got nothing. And it's also been about 2 months since we've gotten a release of a new trailer that's going to be in theaters or a new poster. There's a reason all the movie news is dry right now, just because everyone is holding back, waiting to see what's going to happen. And I think Venom 2, even though it's going to be released in October, is the same way. If you had asked me, I bet you that this movie will still be coming out in October, that we will see it on its original release date. But just in case, I don't think a studio wants to waste a trailer and show a release date to the public that might change. Just think of how angry all the studios are who have their movie release dates changed, like a Ghostbusters, a Scoob, a SpongeBob movie, who all showed their trailers, showed their release dates, had marketing materials like posters, and now all of that went to waste. So as pumped as I am for Venom 2, I don't think we're going to be seeing that trailer land online next week. If anything, I say give it one more month. Do you think the Venom trailer will be landing next week, or do you agree with me that the Venom trailer will be holding out its hope to see what the world looks like? Jumping now to some horror movie news, one of the horror movies we were set to get this year that I bet a lot of you did not know was coming was Purge 5. This is also set to be the final Purge movie. Yeah, right. But right now it is set to be the final Purge movie in the horror franchise. It has a release date of July 10th, 2020, and that's about 3 months away, and we've gotten zip. All for the same reason I was talking about with Venom, where a studio's not even sure if movie theaters will be open by that time, so no point even putting out trailers, posters. But we know this is something the studio really wants to put out, because Jason Blum, who recently did an interview with Ben Shapiro, went ahead and let know that this movie is still happening with this release date as of that interview being filmed. And I wouldn't be surprised now if this ends up becoming a 2021 movie. All these release dates that we are now finally getting for movies that were delayed or canceled are starting to get revealed, and it's showing by September and throughout the rest of the year. If movie theaters are open, it's gonna be one hell of a weekend every weekend until the end of 2020, just because big movie after big movie is now being released. But also because of that, smaller horror movies like Purge 5 might have to jump to a different year just to stand a chance of earning some box office money. I mean, in the Halloween season, when it's time to put out a good horror movie, you have movies now like Halloween Kills that I don't think is moving for anybody. You also just got announced that Candyman will be coming out September 25th now, not to mention all the surprise horror movies that we don't know about until it's October, and then we get the marketing for those films. We still don't even have a release date for the Saw spin-off movie Spiral. That was supposed to come out in May, and now we have no idea when it's going to be coming out. On that same subject concerning Blumhouse, they're still very determined though to bring out Halloween Kills come this October. In that same interview I mentioned with Ben Shapiro, Jason Blum says he's going to make that movie happen no matter what, and even on Twitter letting us know that the trailer is almost complete and coming out soon. I don't know how far away soon is in his mind. It could be in the coming weeks, or it could be a month away. But it really does suck for movies like Halloween Kills that they had the free space all to themselves. I mean, the whole reason Spiral was going to be coming out in May was because Halloween Kills was coming out in October. So the Saw spin-off movie was like, well, I don't want that competition. Let me move far away. And now it's forced to sort of be close to it, which is probably the reason we don't have a release date for that movie and will be coming out in 2021 now. But if Halloween Kills was actually delayed or decided to put off their release date just because of all the competition around it now, it has a lot to lose. Because one, a Halloween movie comes out, around Halloween. So if this thing got delayed, it would be delayed all the way till October. And I don't know if you remember, you have Halloween Ends coming out in October of 2021. So then the domino effect would be that movie would have to be delayed to the following year. I didn't think the repercussions of all these movies being delayed would be that big. I knew there'd be some movies that would change here and there. One of my fears was the Batman, but now it's starting to affect my horror movies, and that just don't play. But I want to hear from you guys. Are you excited that the end of 2020 is going to have such a packed year for movies? Are you even interested to see Purge 5 at the end of this year, or can you wait for it next year? And how soon do you think we're getting this Halloween Kills trailer? But that is just some movie news on what's been happening in the world lately, guys. I really appreciate you guys sticking through on my channel when there's no movies playing in theaters. It really means a lot. It's made things a little difficult on here, but I'm pushing through, and you know when movies become relevant again, your boy will be here. But as always, be sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.